Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the SJcam channel. Thank you very much for tuning in for my second video on this here camera, the brand new SJcam SJ9 Strike. A 4K 60 frames a second action camera from SJcam. And if you are not familiar with SJcam, SJcam makes more affordable alternatives to GoPro cameras. I think that summarizes SJcam, and they've been at it for quite a while. I've used SJcams for years by now, partly because they are more affordable, and sometimes I strap these cameras onto quadcopters, and if you crash, and if you're not made of money, also it's a bit more relaxing to fly a quadcopter or an airplane with a camera on it that's not as costly as a GoPro, at least to me. Okay, in this video we're gonna take a look at the stabilizing function of this camera. Electronic image stabilization is what that's called. A lot of action cameras have it. Now this is actually the predecessor of the SJ9, the SJ8. Yeah, no surprise there. This is also a 4K camera, and this one also has image stabilization, and obviously I tested that. I've had this camera for more than a year, I think. I'm not even sure. Approximately a year. And the image stabilizing of this camera is pretty good. Better than I was expecting. So that kind of gave me reason to believe that the image stabilization of this new SJ9 would also be good. And in this video we're gonna see if it's actually any good. So imagine you shooting your video of a lifetime, and because of the nerves you can't keep your hand still if it would save your life. You're holding on to your camera for dear life, and yeah, you kinda know that your video is gonna be crap because you can't keep your hand still, man. Damn. So that's what image stabilization, electronic image stabilization, is for. To save you from yourself. Yeah, basically it should iron out all the little movements the camera makes in any direction, basically. So let's take a look at what that looks like. What you see here is me riding my bicycle. Yes, if you are familiar with my channel, you know that I often ride a bicycle. And on the left of your screen, well, it's painfully obvious actually. On the left of your screen you see the footage from the SJ9 stabilized, and on your right you see, well, it's actually an image from the SJ8, but those cameras are very similar. However, on your right the image stabilization is turned off. And maybe it's handy to look at this footage a couple of times, but you'll definitely see that the left side of this video is impressively stable, actually. I'm actually moving my hand around more than I usually do, just to test this feature. And yeah, as you can tell, it works. It definitely irons out a lot of movement in your hand, a lot. That is not to say that it irons out every movement. There is a limit to what electronic image stabilization can do. However, there is also a limit to what a mechanical gimbal could do. So this is obviously far more convenient than slogging along a mechanical gimbal. An action camera like this you can slip into your back pocket. And if you'd want to add a mechanical gimbal, that'll be another story, right? So this definitely eliminates a lot of hand movement. Your video will look a lot better, far more professional, far more usable. And it doesn't have you, well, having to take a gimbal with you, which is great. Works pretty well. And the second thing I did was just me walking around with the two cameras in my hand. That's what you see here. What you can also see is the limitations of electronics image stabilization. A second ago you could see the left side of the video move around a little. It did move around less than the right side of the video, for sure, a lot less. However, again, there are limitations to electronics image stabilization, and that goes for any action camera. There are also, however, limitations to what a mechanical gimbal can do, so yeah, both have their ups and downs, both have their pros and cons. A major pro of a electronics image stabilization system in a camera like this is that it's convenient, right? What I should also say about this test is that the difference was more pronounced in the bicycle ride. I'm not sure why, I guess my hand moved around more, the road was bumpy and such, so if you are shooting a mountain biking video, any kind of action sequence, I'd say electronics image stabilization is definitely your friend. Works like a charm, I'd say. And that's about it. I don't want to take up more of your time than needed. I think it's fair to say that the electronic stabilization in this SJ9 works as advertised. It works as good or as bad as I was hoping for. I hope this video was informative to you. If you are left with questions, hit me up a comment down below. I'll be happy to answer you. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.